very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the In Conversation with Netizens series. I have with me somebody very special. I would like to welcome Mr. Nagesh of the IE25 batch. He is currently in Accenture as Associate Director. Nagesh, very good afternoon. I would like you to start off with, talking to the NITI stakeholders, talking to everybody who's probably listening into you about some of the highlights or high points of your career.
Thank you, Professor Ranjini. It's a real pleasure to talk. Before I start the highs in my career, I just wanted to spend a few minutes in terms of giving you a bit of how NITI has certainly helped me as a professional and as an individual, right? NITI certainly helped us to think, right? And our ability to keep innovating, which is the buzz word, right, in the current industry, is something that we all will cherish. Our ability to kind of comprehend when we are working in different industries is something that we have learned from NITI. I'm part of information technology for the last 20 plus years. And relatively, this is a new industry. All of us are aware of it. And you get to work with a large set of millennium population. And the way you deal with such people is entirely. I have had the greatest of opportunity to work with multiple industries, whether it is manufacturing industry or a utility industry or an oil and gas industry. And each industry poses a different set of challenges, right? And this is something that we have been consciously trained in NITI. And this is something that comes to our rescue when we're dealing with the situations. So if I have to kind of put my responsibilities as a professional, it falls broadly into two categories. One is I am accountable for IT service delivery to the customers. That's one. And the second one is designing technical and commercial solutions to the customer. There are four things that I want to really call out as high in my career. The first one is I led a $100 million account for one of the largest Fortune 500 global customer. And the experience that you would get dealing with such a customer who is spread geographically is quite different. The country cultural aspects, that you would experience, they always outweigh the organizational cultural aspects. And one needs to really adapt very quickly to handle such. And I'm very proud to say that, we were able to grow this particular customer account almost by 30% year on year. And there are three things that I certainly would want to kind of call out. The first one is the ability to kind of focus on the customer, what we call it as customer centricity, very important. Number two, I led several successful multi-million-dollar transformational business development proposals for my organization. The thought leadership that one needs to bring to the process, when dealing with this large deals is extremely important. And several key success factors I want to kind of bring in. One is our ability to kind of understand the customer, why the customer is in a desperate situation to come up with such a proposal. What are the business drivers, right? And what are the multiple parties that we need to involve from our organization to make the best out of it? And our ability to kind of sell value to the customer. All of these factors are important for us to win new business. Number three, I have always been very keen to develop innovative industry technology, ability to kind of make those innovations an integral part of our delivery, and also our ability to sell these as solutions to our customers is something that I always cherish. Number four, I worked with Satyam, and when Satyam fiasco happened in 2009, I was part of Satyam. The leadership that we all had to kind of demonstrate in these difficult times, almost 7 to 9 months, is something that, that I would certainly call as a high in my career now.
It was really wonderful listening to you. The very deep sense of being connected to the customer is what I see as being very essential, irrespective of what you have to deliver to them. To be connected to the customer at all times is what I understand, and probably a potential employer would look for in a young professional.
Right, and then Corona is one example we can take, and probably I can give examples on how industries are shaping up, and therefore I can probably conclude with some of the messages that I want to give it to the students. And like Corona, there could be any other reasons, for the industry to kind of get impacted, right? And we all need to be prepared for. I'll give you a few examples. Or oil and gas industry, how the trading is done in oil and gas industry is very different from what it used to be before Corona. Right? In the age-old industries where people used to say that no, digital adoption cannot happen, we need to still live with legacy systems and all that, have started thinking differently, right? right? For example, if you're working in a manufacturing industry, it does not mean that you kind of keep away from, let us say, information technology. You cannot do that now. It has become an integral part of any industry, and all of us have to respect it. Right? Wherever you are, whether you are in NITI as a student, or you go out and join a corporate world, or wherever you are, right? Create a brand for yourself and the branding. So these are some of the key messages, folks. NITI as an institute has made up its name, and then we need to live to the expectation. There are changing needs. The world is changing very, very fast, and all of us are expected to kind of be agile, be adaptive, right? And then, kind of bring in that innovative and thought leadership.
But I think enough of serious discussions, and you should give us a little bit of a peek into your NITI days, your classes, or did you go behind the professor's back and do some things? Just let us into some fun moments that you must have had in NITI.
Maybe 2 or 3 incidents I will share, Professor Ranjani. First, maybe to start with, what happened during one of the exams in NITI, which were appearing. I don't want to name the professor nor the exam, but I just wanted to share that funny incident. The exam paper was completely different, than what we anticipated, right? There was a small paragraph that was given in the exam paper, and with some situation, I don't recall what was that situation, and we were all asked to kind of respond in the exam. And none of us had any clue, what needs to be responded, okay? And we were looking at each other's face, if anybody would be able to kind of give us any clue and all that. And we probably requested our professor also, why don't you explain, sir, we are unable to kind of crack this, what expectations you have on this exam. Then the professor wouldn't open up, and he would give a sarcastic smile, and it irritated us even more, okay? And time was ticking. And somehow we started our exam, started giving some response, whatever we thought would be appropriate. And probably after 45 minutes into the exam, one of our classmates, would get up and ask for a graph paper. Okay, rest of us would be looking at him, and then started scratching our head. Why the hell this guy had asked for graph paper? What is the need for the graph paper in this particular exam? And we truly believe that even our professor was surprised, somebody asking for a graph paper for an exam. And then I can let you know, after probably 10 minutes, every student started asking for a graph paper. I don't know what we wrote eventually, but that was one of the funniest moments in the classroom. In addition, quite a few funny moments that I want to share. For example, in the hostel, there used to be only one landline, one land phone for the entire hostel. And the attendant there would call loudly the room number depending upon who gets a call, right? And I used to live in room number 420, and he would call with loud voice, 420 sabka phone aaya, and all the residents would laugh at this, and you can understand 420 what it means, correct? So that used to be one very funny moment. It would happen almost on a regular basis. And also the food that used to get served in our mess was too good. The combinations that we used to get, very, very appealing. And I still recall one of my classmates, would eat almost 20 to 25 rotis per meal, and the mess guy used to get irritated, to serve this guy, because the moment he serves 4 rotis and then would go to another table, this guy would call him again, to serve another 4 rotis. Okay, so that was another funny moment that I want to share now.
Okay, so it's been real, very, very good, use of a Sunday afternoon. And we took the liberty of, taking away that rare Sunday noon from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.